Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Faith Forward podcast. Today's guest is from Newtown, Connecticut. He's currently studying math and secondary education, and he's currently a sophomore here. He hopes to one day become a high school math teacher. He works as an RSA at Christian Witness Commons, one of the dorms here at Sacred Heart, and is a member of the men's club volleyball team. He is a huge sports fan and roots for teams like the Yankees, Knicks, and Giants, just like me. Timothy Villa, thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Connecticut, and you're a New York fan. What happened to Patriots? Nothing?
My parents grew up in the Bronx, and so bringing the New York sports teams with them, naturally moving from New York to Stamford to Newtown, Connecticut, I just followed their path.
Well, it's good that you weren't a Patriots fan because they had a horrendous loss.
Devastating.
Yeah. So first up, what was your faith like growing up?
So growing up, my mom always made us go to church, and so I found myself getting a lot of understanding, and I think understanding is different than faith. So from baptism to confirmation, I found myself getting a lot of understanding, and so went through CCD, going to church, just knowing all the prayers. I found myself knowing a lot about the faith, and I think that's a good background for anyone to have. I think when you have understanding, it allows you to actually build your faith. So after confirmation, I found myself going to youth group just because I had two close friends going there. And so I went to the youth group every Sunday on top of church. And so it wasn't really a priority going into high school. It wasn't something I really wanted to do, going to public school my whole life. And then the summer before sophomore year, I found myself at a retreat in Ohio called Steubenville. They have many different locations for it, but the main hub is Ohio. So we went to the main location at Franciscan University in Ohio. And it really sparked my faith. And so just adoration there, being around people who actually wanted to build their faith, and it expanded from freshmen in high school to seniors in high school and going like right before college. So it's a high school retreat. And so every winter, my youth group would run a winter retreat. And so I found myself going to all these retreats. I went to Steubenville 3 times. I went to the winter retreat 3 times. And so I really got a good understanding of my faith. And so really being around people who cared, and my youth ministers who have done a lot for me, I really give them a lot of praise. And so I have built my faith through the people around me and just experiencing Jesus all around me.
When you say you grew up understanding, did you really understand the faith, like going through CCD? Like for me personally, I went through CCD and I went through the motions, but didn't really fully understand the faith. Like I knew the key points, like, you know, who Jesus was and things like that, but I didn't actually understand the faith until I got to high school. So did you have that full understanding that you have now?
I had understanding of the stories and like what they meant. So like just taking, for example, the prodigal son, the parable, and understanding the message behind it. So like I knew what the message was, but it really wasn't till high school when I applied it to my faith that I really understood why it was important. And so like getting the background of, oh, I know why they believe this. So getting knowledge and getting that all was like really the building point. But then when I got to high school is when I really started like jumping off and applying it to my life.
And you went to a public high school, right? Not a Catholic high school?
I went to a public high school.
So how did that impact your faith? Because it's more on you. Like I went to a Catholic high school, and your faith was incorporated in the curriculum in everyday life. Like before classes, we'd say a Hail Mary before every class. So did you feel it was more on you to develop your own faith?
Yeah, I found it on myself, but obviously I had a good family life until my mom always made sure I went to church. But when my 2 oldest brothers, they went away to school out in Texas, and I was the only one home, it became more on me because I wasn't a kid being forced to go to church, and me and my 2 brothers, we had to be separated by our parents, and so
I was the same way. My parents never let me sit next to my brother in church.
Yeah, because we would mess with each other and be distracting towards others. But it got to a point where it was on me, and it was through the retreats I went to and through adoration and different just prayer experiences, talking to other people about my faith, small groups, just being around people who wanted to build their faith really gave me a deep rooting in my faith. So even though I went to a public high school, I still went to church on Sundays. I still went to youth group on Sundays, and I still prayed like often. Until where I am now, I pray every night. But where I was in high school, I prayed a few times a week until I really found success even in my faith life, even though I went to a public school.
And it developed along the way.
Yeah.
Now tell me about these retreats.
So
explain them to me.
The summer retreats, you're there, you leave Friday morning, you get there Friday afternoon, and it's all weekend. So Friday, you have an adoration Friday. Saturday, you go to do different conferences, different talks, and it's a big adoration on Saturday night. And then Sunday, you have church and you go back. But the winter retreats is Friday, you go in the afternoon, you stay overnight until it's for everyone. So girls will sleep in the gym, the guys will sleep in another hall. And then you wake up Saturday, you go through everything, and you have a big adoration at night, and then everyone goes home after. And there are small groups in between, talks in between, different stuff like that.
And you're going to one this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's at my hometown.
And you're leading it?
So I went to a lot of them, and so I'm so grateful for what my youth ministers have done for me. And so I want to help them, make it easier for them. And so my first year helping was last year, being in college as a freshman. I wasn't really able to attend it, but I was able to help them out. So last year I went to the full thing. And so I gave a talk. I ran small groups. I just experienced what it's like to be on the other side of it. And so there's a lot of work that I didn't realize what it was. This weekend, it starts Friday, and so I'm only free Friday. Saturday I have work and stuff. So Friday I'm going to be there helping them set up and really helping things get smoothly, helping the kids get smoothly adjusted to the weekend for them to have a good day Saturday.
Wow. So what did you like better? Did you like being on the other side of the fence and listening to the talks, of being an attendee, or giving a talk to people?
I think when I was in a sophomore, junior, I enjoyed being on the other side. I think that was the most beneficial for me. But by the time I got to senior year and I was there, it was kind of like a similar thing over and over again. So I enjoyed being able to give a talk and give back to kids and help the youth ministers that helped me ultimately build my faith.
And you told me there's a specific theme for this retreat. What is it?
It's a theme called Echo.
Echo. I like that. Is there any significance that you know of about it?
I know there's a Bible verse connected to it, and I'm not fully aware on all the plans for it. I'm going to find that out Friday when I get there to help out. But it's really just a jumping point. So every year when they do it, they use a Bible verse. I knew they used John 4:13 before, the famous Bible verse, but they use a verse and they build off it on a theme.
Wow. Well, I'm sure you're looking forward to that. I'm sure it's going to be a great experience. So when you first got to Sacred Heart, the couple weeks before the first semester, you were in a campus ministry pre-fall. Tell me about that experience.
I think it was really beneficial for me. I found two of my closest friends here, and because of meeting them, I was able to meet more friends. So just the way we built our friend group, I met my friend Matt and Alex. They met other people, we met other friends, and we really built a close group. And so building friends in your faith, I think, is super important because it allows you to have deeper conversations, right? I'm close with some people, but I'm not close with them in a faith way, where I can't have a faith conversation with them. So building those connections was the biggest thing I took away, but also I learned freedom right away. Right off the bat, we went to a retreat by ourselves where we stayed in our own room, and it was kind of like a quick start into college experience. So it really got me ready. It really built close relationships, and ultimately I was able to spend a week with God. I
think finding friends with faith is very important, because with a lot of people, talking about religion is taboo. It's like, oh, we don't touch that. But when you're able to talk with people about your religion, it makes all the difference. I noticed for me, and I think you notice it too.
Yeah.
So you're involved in a lot of different things here. You're on the men's volleyball team. You're an RA. You are heavily involved.
Yeah.
How does your faith fit into all the different activities you do?
So as a kid, I'd grow up, even though I'd have baseball games or basketball games on a Sunday, my mom would drag me there in my uniform, wear it, and then right after I'd go right to my game. And so it really taught me that faith comes first. And so growing up and really expanding into college, I found that faith does come first. And faith really impacts how I do the different things. So this past Sunday was the Super Bowl, and I had a volleyball tournament all morning. So there was no real chance for me to go to church anytime during the day or anytime at night. So I woke up at 6:45 just to go off campus to go to church. Right? And I found that church is really important for me. It's really a weekly routine going on Sunday. It's not something that, I'm going to fit it in around my schedule. I'm going to put that in my schedule and fit all my other stuff around it. And so I really felt like it's made me a better person. So it made me a better RA, makes me a better teammate, and really allows me to build close relationships with everyone.
I'll say for me, life does get hectic. It has always been, from when I was younger, going around to sports as you were, and even now with busy schedules, but it's become a priority in my life too. And when I miss, I kind of feel guilty.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like it throws off my whole system. So I totally resonate with what you're saying. And I think it does make you a better person because it gives you time to pause and reflect in the busyness of the life. Do you see that?
Yeah, in church, I always take a second after I receive the Eucharist to just collect my thoughts and say a prayer. And it really gets me in the right mindset and really changes whether I'm in a bad mood, a happy mood. It really gets me balanced and stable. And so listening to homilies and just even sometimes just praying, like not even going to church, like just during the week I'm praying at night, right? It really gets me in a good mindset before I go to bed, before I start my day, things like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it calms me down too. That's what I say. I'm like, whenever I'm stressed out of something, I just want to take the time to pray. And it gives me clearness of mind. So before you go, we ask this to every one of our guests on this show. How will you move your faith forward? How will you continue to grow in your faith?
The biggest thing for me is obviously focusing on my prayer life, but I want to help other people. And so when I'm going to the retreat on Friday, I want to give them an idea of like, yeah, I'm a college student, and yes, I still have faith, and yes, I still have other responsibilities and other activities. I think teaching people that you can do all this other stuff and still have faith. And so really helping other people expand their faith while also helping me expand my faith and realizing I want to be someone to rely on me for their faith, but also like rely on other people. So I have the youth ministers and I have other friends that I can talk to about faith things. And so realizing that I can rely on them, I want other people to be able to rely on me in the same way.
That's such a great message. Leading by example. Tim Villa, thank you so much for being here. And that wraps up episode 9 of the Faith Forward podcast. Before I forget, because I forget it every week, I want to shout out Matt and Alex in the back, because without them, there is no show. So thank you guys for being here and for all your hard work. Thank you, the audience, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. God bless.